Hello, Mech fans. This is Duncan Fisher. Hold on firmly to your mana potions, fireballs, and familiars, because you are tuning in to your regularly scheduled episode of the First Circuit Podcast.
And welcome to episode 98 of the First Circuit Podcast. Tonight's hosts are Biter,
Blarg,
and myself, Old Bob. I need something to say. The topics tonight also include the Soundcloud Help, AMA number 9, Back to School Sale, Get Schooled Event and Sale, and the GSP Bundles.
So, Old Bob, since you're the one sort of who maintains SoundCloud and this, that, and the other, do you explain what's going on and what we're thinking about moving forward?
What is going on is we normally use SoundCloud for the people that want to go download it and have it inside their car, and it's been working really well, and I really do enjoy actually doing SoundCloud. And then it's also a community type thing that a lot of people recognize for Circle Podcast on the SoundCloud itself, and they use it. There has been a great deal of people using SoundCloud to go and download it and have fun with it, and listen on their cars or while they're jogging, exercising, doing whatever they got to do for it. And this year, normally I actually upfront the money myself, doing the First Circuit Podcast, but this year I can't afford it. And so normally it costs about $64.84 for this year to go ahead and have it for a year going forward, which has 6 hours of podcast, or 6 hours of time. And our normal podcasts run about between 45 minutes to about an hour and a half, depending. So if you have a free version of SoundCloud, it's 3 hours. But I want to keep some of the special guests like Blaine, Blaine, who wrote a lot of different books for BattleTech. I want to keep him on there. Keep different special guests on there as well. So for the viewing or hearing pleasure of the audience that do listen to SoundCloud. Then also we're recognized on SoundCloud. That's what we've been using for about a year now. My proposal is twofold. I'm going to try to actually come up with the money through charity, and hopefully with the community can actually help out to have either the 6 hours on SoundCloud, or actually go into unlimited, which is $129 depending. I don't think that's going to happen, or we could actually do it for free and have it on two different systems. One is SoundCloud for 3 hours, and then also Podbean. Podbean has 5 hours with 100 gigabytes of bandwidth, which shouldn't be too much of a problem, basically, based off of how many people, but it's two different platforms that we can go and use. That might be an option in case we can't come up with the money to go ahead and work SoundCloud into the 6 hours. It just all depends. It's up in the air, and I want to know from the community, what do you guys want to do? Do you want to have it on only SoundCloud, both on SoundCloud and Podbean? Do you want to help go ahead and help the First Circuit Podcast? Go ahead and help them, help us actually have it only on SoundCloud, or like whatever. I want your opinions on this, and I'm trying to figure out what to do, and it's hard because I really don't like doing this. I want to make it convenient for everyone to go listen to the First Circuit Podcast, and that's one of the things I want to get into. As far as the SoundCloud Pro, which is $5.40 a month, but it's like $68 because we already had it for a year, or SoundCloud Pro Unlimited, which is $10.80 a month, or $129, I believe. So it just all depends. What do you think, Biter?
Okay, so the main point, or the main value of the service is, of course, that most people who are listening via them is going to be listening to it, to the most contemporary episodes, and for that you just need free SoundCloud. You need and you could go free Podbean, you could go Apple Podcasts, you could go Google Play and Stitcher, and plenty of sites offer means for you to download audio from podcasts. Hell, you can also all of our podcasts are up on YouTube, and you can download just audio from YouTube videos. So for the most part, I think we could certainly branch out into more of these sites. It's better to spread your eggs, and also at least as far as legacy episodes go, at least for now, we don't necessarily have too many legacy episodes that we want to keep. But still, we've had a few big guests on. We had the composer for BattleTech Harebrained Schemes. We had we've had two big hosts on, Blaine Lee earlier, and we'll have Mitch and possibly Jordan Wiseman in the future. So yeah, just over time though, at least we'll have lots of podcasts up, and a lot of these services won't be able to have all of those at the same time. I don't mind the idea of fundraising, but I also think at least all you're doing is you're going to have this problem every single year. And if somebody really wants to go back and get those legacy podcasts, either you spread them around the websites or you just tell people to get it off YouTube.
Spread around the website. That's funny, actually. Well, I think Bitch is on Podbean, and then Applecast is playing. Yeah, true. I think I just wanted to actually have those legacy ones up as much as possible, because I actually go back and listen to these. Like Blaine, I really did enjoy episode 90. And then if people people want to know, like, hey, what episode was Blaine on, or what episode was Mitch on, that type of thing, you always go ask too. That might be a better idea. I do want to branch out as far as Podbean and go with them as well. So like two different sites. It only takes about 10-15 minutes to do it, to upload to SoundCloud, get all the graphics and like everything else like uploaded. So it's really not that big of a deal as far as doing that.
Do you have any usage statistics on, for example, SoundCloud? You've bought, or at least we had bought, a year of the the service with more space. Yeah. How many people were downloading every week's episodes, and how many people downloaded the legacy episodes that you had uploaded?
Well, there was one episode that had 64 people downloaded, but I don't know what the hell that was. That was just a weird thing. I just no clue what that is. But in general, though, with the legacies, it's generally about right now. Blaine is 11 with 4 likes, and then normally every episode we have, it's about between 5 and 8 downloads.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it's not being used as much. But the people that do have it, I don't want to kind of exclude them. But if we,
I think, though, at least since it's such small numbers, I think it's reasonable enough to say that we're not necessarily going to be putting a huge amount of money, like $70 a year every time for just a couple of people. But I think at least if you want every week's episodes up, every contemporary episode, then we can do that for free, no problem. But as our library of important episodes get larger and larger, we're not going to be able to keep all of them on a website. At least that would be how I would go about it.
Well, I guess what I can do is create a Google Doc, and basically, here's this person, all the legacy like episodes, and here they are on YouTube. Pretty much. I might actually try that. That might be an idea.
Yeah, you're on your own channel. You can just do your own little playlist of some of our, favorite or more important episodes if people are interested. But otherwise, at least I think, I don't think it's so important to raise the money. I think it at least in the long run, it makes sense to just keep it free and to focus on the most important part, which is just contemporary episodes.
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, basically, I'll go run with that. And what do you think about Podbean, though, about having that as well?
I think it's just a little bit more hassle to upload to all these various different sites, but just giving people more options to find our podcast, enjoy our podcast, etc. There's no skin off our back. At least we're not paying for all of those different services.
Yeah.
I don't see the problem.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that sounds like a very logical thing, and okay. We got that done.
Still, let us guys know in the comments, since at least we're just speaking it from the creator's perspective. What does our audience want?
Exactly. What do you guys want from us? So
probably more of us podcasting rather than talking about ourselves.
I know.
Okay, so up next is the Mechwarrior 5 AMA, talking about the Mech Lab.
Yeah.
5.
This was interesting, actually. They actually had a really cool idea, and switched from the normal hardpoint system where you could only mount a AC-20 you can only mount that in that, so like a Hunchback, you can only mount an AC-20. That's it. But in this new system, sorry, go ahead. What?
Yeah, I think the simplest way to explain it is, you still have ballistic missile and energy hardpoints, but they are also now separated by size: small, medium, and large hardpoints. So as you're trying to get to,
Yeah.
if you have an AC-20, you can't replace it with an AC-2 or a machine gun. You have to replace it with another big ballistic weapon, like a Gauss rifle.
Yeah, or like medium lasers can be changed out to pulse lasers or medium pulse lasers type thing, and you can't change out going from a AC-20 AC-2, or just what Biter said, like a machine gun, or have a crap ton of machine guns based off space. So it's actually working out pretty well. I like it. Don't get me wrong. I want to see how it's worked in the mech lab in the game itself before I actually say yes, this is the best thing since sliced bread. I want to go see how this works.
It really does depend. So lasers, of course, you got the small lasers and the small weapon category. The medium lasers, of course, the medium-sized weapons, the large
Yeah.
lasers are. I think PPCs, most of regular PPC is a large weapon. It's as big as a large pulse, heavy as a large pulse laser, and bigger in terms of slots. Heavy PPC is large, I assume. But what about stuff like a snub or a light PPC? Are those within the time period anyway?
I think snubs came out after 3050, but I'm not too sure though. I have to look that up. But
What about light PPCs? They're probably past 3050 as well, are they?
I God, man, my lore is kind of like crappy right now.
Okay, but energy weapons make enough sense. But missile weapons, they say, for example, you can swap a large LRM weapon with a large SRM weapon.
Yeah.
So that's a little awkward in sense, particularly SRMs I'm thinking of, because SRMs only come in different intervals of 2, 4, or 6 tubes. It's just feels kind of odd to me that you got this, LRM-20 is a huge weapon. It's just like, I'm pulling all that stuff out, and you put a little SRM-6 in there.
Yeah, that was kind of weird though. The only thing you swap out, like in a large weapon slot for the LRM-20, is a 15 and 20, and I guess a SRM-6, which is kind of bizarre, like you're talking about. Then I guess medium will be SRM-4, but at that point though, I don't know. That's just it's weird how they're gonna do it, but like I said, I want to see how it works first before I actually go balls to wall against it.
Yeah, how do all these categories work? Because with missile weapons, okay, LRM-15, LRM-20 are large, but what then is a small LRM launcher, and what's a medium LRM launcher? A small LRM launcher, LRM-5, LRM-10 is a medium launcher, so you can't swap those with any of the others, or is there overlap?
Well, like LRM-10 will be a SRM-4, I guess, and that's about it. That's the only thing you switch it out to, which is kind of bizarre.
It could be,
Yeah.
but that's really limiting.
Yeah.
With what kind of weapons you can use. And sometimes, like some mechs, it starts with a single LRM-5 launcher, and so you can replace that with an SRM-2.
Ooh.
And neither of which are really that worthwhile in the most part. And just like normally, at least, like in Mechwarrior Online, and even somewhat like BattleTech, if it had like an LRM-5, you'd say no, get rid of that. I want an SRM-6. And at least in my head, that kind of made some sense. It had 5 tubes, now it has 6 tubes. I mean, SRMs are, of course, presumably bigger missiles, and it's a 3-ton launcher rather than a 2-ton launcher. But for the most part, it's not a huge retrofit. But in Mechwarrior 5 terms, you've went from a small launcher to a large launcher. Like that's that's a huge change. Well, apparently,
it does coincide to lore per se, a little bit, because normally, like in lore wise, you really didn't modify the mechs because they're built certain ways. Like that LRM-20 launcher is put there specifically because it has different weight ratios and heat systems and everything else hooked up to it. If you change it to LRM-10, you got to go and do a lot of R&D testing to bring it down to a like LRM-10. That's why they have different variants for all the different variants that are out there. Now, Russ did say also, too, that there are a bunch of variants from Mechwarrior Online, including the heroes, which will be inside the game. So, you will be getting mechs like crazy. I don't know the storage space. I forgot what he said about the storage spaces, how many mechs you can have in your storage bay per se. So I know you could obviously have 4 because you have a lance, but the rest is like, how much storage space do you have on a Leopard dropship? Pretty much almost none.
Okay, so 12 deployable mechs at a time, storage system for more mechs. There's no cap on inventory.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I think it's a bit like BattleTech by Harebrained Schemes, where that they have the mech lab with all the various mechs that you can actually pull into a mission.
Okay, cool.
So you got 12 mechs that are fully kitted out and ready to go, or up to 12. And there's even more mechs possibly in your infinite storage bay that you can pull out.
That seems very weird for a Leopard dropship. Hey, we can only deploy 4 mechs, but you have 12 already kitted and ready to go do the bidding. But then
where do you shove the
extra
8 mechs?
I know.
Let alone all the extra stuff. I mean, in BattleTech, at least you had a whole dropship of space, and it had you had 3 mech bays eventually worth of storage space. So it kind of made sense that you could have that much stuff, but I think at least the numbers of mechs that you can, the mechs you can choose to deploy and having infinite storage space is done for usability's sake. And hopefully, at least, just like both games are fairly moddable. If you really want to mod it so that you have more realistic limitations, you can go ahead and mod it for that.
Well, it does show a Leopard dropship in the first videos of Mechwarrior 5. So, no, I'm sorry, a Union dropship. It does show one of those. So I don't know, maybe. But even then, you have 12 mechs you can use. But then, where's the storage space at? Normally, like in lore-wise, you only had enough space for the mechs that are in the bays, and that's it. So Leopard has 4, Union has 12, Excalibur has 36, that type of stuff, and that's all you got. And you might have some extra parts laying around, but that's about it. But I guess I guess in online MechWarrior lore, you have unlimited space to fit as many. You can fit whole regiments inside of a instead of a Leopard dropship. I guess that works out cool. I guess I don't know.
As long as they're broken down.
As long as they're broken down, yeah.
Well, you see, it is just space. There's no limitations of how much stuff you can strap to the outside of the ship.
Oh, they have it and they reduce them down to atoms, right? And just like, a whole regiment fits inside this jar, this mason jar. Here you go. Here's my whole regiment.
Well, I'm just imagining you've broken down 20 atlases and you just strap the arms and legs, torsos, and everything to the outside of the dropship.
Oh God!
Just go from there.
Oh well, based the same lore as BattleTech, like in the BattleTech game from Harebrained Schemes, every bandit kingdom in the periphery has at least a regiment of assault mechs, and that's it. Basically they have them on standby just to go assault you with. And I guess it's that type of lore. I don't know. That's my only pet peeve about BattleTech.
Yeah. Other things to mention about the Mech Lab is slots are not, it's a lot less flexible than Mechwarrior Online, which is much more about, full customization for PvP. For this, weapons will always take a certain number of slots depending on their size, so if it's a large, small, or medium. And even if you strip the weapon out, those slots will be occupied by all the weapon housing that doesn't house a weapon anymore.
Yeah.
And that goes, factors. They're going to give you lots of slots to work with, but that does factor into how or where you can put your heat sinks.
So like a hunchback would have basically the whole torso would be like the AC20 slots, but if you bring it into if you bring it to an AC10, you still have those slots being taken up, right?
I imagine if you, in my head, I'm just imagining Schemes Mech Lab, and for the sake of argument, you have 10 slots in the side torso, and for this, 4 or 5 of them are taken up by the AC20.
Yeah.
And those slots will always be available for a weapon and nothing else. You cannot, when you strip the weapon out, there's just a box there that you can't use because it's only there for weapons. And so, 4 slots are taken up by the weapon. There's 6 slots for heat sinks, which means 2 double heat sinks or 6 singles.
Actually, double heat sinks did come out in the Ronin War, so I don't know. They got a double heat sinks. Mm-hmm. So yeah, cool.
Yeah, they did mention DHS.
Yeah.
Because I think, again, there's less customization than Mechwarrior Online. So if your mech has Pharaoh, if it has if it has double heat sinks, this, that, and the other. You can't just switch it this, that, and the other. Your armor types are fixed, etc., etc.
Yeah, exactly. They also did talk about screenshots of the Mech Lab, which will be coming soon, hopefully. That'll be kind of nice to go check that out.
Some we'll get a rare viewing of the game.
Yeah. A rare. This is the game. Oh my god! I found out what the hell the game is about now. Yay! It's like, oh my god. My pet peeve about this whole thing too. It's like I literally, I love the concept. I played the game. It was cool, but I want to know more. And it's like it's like they're hiding in caves and not revealing anything about the game.
You'd really think, at least for these AMAs, particularly when they're about certain topics,
Yeah.
like it'd just be so cool that if they're talking about UI design, and here's some images of the UI for this, that, and the other, or talking about the Mech Lab, here's some images of the Mech Lab.
Yeah, it would be nice. It would be nice to actually see what the hell that they're talking about, type thing.
Yeah,
yeah.
A lot more hype than just hearing Russ's dulcet tones
in the car talking on his phone while he's going home.
Yes.
Yeah, that was interesting. Basically what happened was on like I listened to the 10 a.m. one or the 9 a.m. one, like whatever one it is, and then the 6 p.m. one, Pacific Standard Time. And I guess no one knew what Russ was doing, so Russ took off going home. And so poor Paul had to go do the emceeing with Tina to go and take questions and put him on the spot, and he did a fine job though. He did good. And then 15 minutes later, Russ called in through his phone. It's like, hey guys, it's like, what happened? Oh, I'm on my way home. It's like, okay. It was kind of funny, but yeah. In general though, no micro transactions, which is nice. There's a big controversy about loot boxes and everything else online, so yeah. It's a good thing it's not going to do that, and I think it'll just put more, it will stoke the fire a little bit more for a lot of people if that did happen.
Talking about one thing often loot boxes will provide is cosmetics, and they did talk about some of that as well. So your mechs, you can choose the colors and paint schemes they have. It's very, I think, akin to Mechwarrior Online, where you can choose a buccaneer pattern or a woodland pattern or something like that. You aren't painting it with a brush or anything like that. There's no bolt-ons, there's no cockpit items. They might have, they say, who knows, with success we might add those kind of things in the future. But for the most part, at least, my assumption is you can choose patterns, you can choose the colors for parts of the patterns, but it's like Mechwarrior Online without the cockpit items, without the decals, without the bolt-ons.
Yeah. That's fine. I don't care about that. He says just the traditional DLCs, and since it's going from 3015 to 3049, I'm assuming that the clans will be the next DLC. He also did talk about in the morning, I believe he was talking about maybe like an extra pack, like an extra couple missions or a little story mission for DLC. As far as cost wise, who knows? Who knows?
I can't wait for the City Battle DLC, where early on you are given the Raven, and the Raven cannot be shot by anything.
Yes, yeah. And you can't use it in story mode, basically. You don't get it in story mode, or the flashpoint you don't get in story mode, or anything else. You don't. Oh, we're not talking about anything here. Never mind. Don't worry about it. We don't talk about that.
I was just making a little jab.
Yeah, the little jab there. But yeah, so DLCs will be coming out, obviously, because that's a moneymaker, right there. Like any type of game system that's out there, DLC is one of the things that keeps the company going with DLCs for anything. Witcher 3 has them. A lot of different game systems have DLCs coming out, no matter what they are, including BattleTech as well too, and Shadowrun and everything.
Some other things they talked about, just I remembered from BattleTech, was they said there's going to be different makes of AC-10, so you could have like an AC-10 that fires burst fire, fires 2 shots that are 5 damage each, presumably, or a single shot AC-10, etc., etc. They also said that there will be different weapon levels, which they eventually clarified would basically sort of work like BattleTech's Harebrained Schemes BattleTech, where you have plus and plus plus weapons, so better versions of your AC-10s.
Yeah.
Other weapons.
Yeah, like one, say like your weapons built by Lockheed or something like that. It's going to have like extra range for missiles or something like that. Who knows? But that's generally the idea of what they're going with.
longer range laser, perhaps with a little bit more heat, or just a medium laser that generates a little bit less heat, etc., etc. You can't just do add plus accuracy to the thing, since the
Yeah,
player is now aiming them themselves.
exactly. Um, let's see, sections. Uh, Upgrades to your dropship, like in BattleTech, that's a no. But he wasn't against it, but it's not in the main game itself. And and from what he's talking about, he's not going to put it in. He's just like, yeah,
They have a
that's
much more involved dropship, at least since they're modeling it as a 3D environment you walk around inside.
yeah,
That would be so cool to upgrade, but to have a much more upgradable, internal environment for the dropship would be a lot more work than harebrained schemes things where when you upgrade the like if you build one of the interior upgrades, like what was it? The early one was you could have a recreational room where people could
yeah,
watch vids and stuff. Well, in that, I think all they did, they draw an image of just they make an image of just some people lounging around in the lounge room. But in Mechwarrior 5, you kind of expect if you built a lounge, you should be able to go to the lounge and see people, well, lounging around in there.
I think that'd be kind of cool, though. I think that'd be
It
awesome, man.
would.
Yeah.
It's just so much more work than drawing an image of people lounging around. You have to actually model it and everything, and have a functioning TV and make it worthwhile.
Well, like basically, you can watch like different mech vids or vids, basically, see like Solaris, basically, like on the screen. That'd be kind of cool, just to sit down, and they have like maybe about 6 or 7 hours of just TV shows or something like that. That'd be cool if they did that.
Okay, so making the room is a big step up. Adding whole TV shows to the room is another huge step up, Bob. And they just, of course, do not really have the resources.
No,
So I totally understand why they don't have that kind of thing.
That'd be cool, though. I mean, like,
Oh,
what lore freakazoid like me? Dude, I would love that. I would just sit down just to watch TV shows over and over again and going, oh, God, I'm watching the mech vids.
It still just would feel great where, a bit like in Harebrained Schemes BattleTech, you could add more stuff to help your crews repair mechs, like a fitting harness, the big cranes with repair welders on them or whatever, and just you add more and more clutter to the mech bay when you walk around. It's like, when we started it had hardly any tools whatsoever. They had to climb up the mechs to get them, but now look, there's a ladder.
Well, actually, I think EVE Online had that where you could watch like vids on your TV, basically in your cubicle lounge type thing. And so you can watch news reports and stuff like that. I thought that was a cool idea. I don't know.
Yeah.
It'd be cool, but yeah, that's not feasible. That's not going to happen. So yeah, it'll be cool though.
Yeah, which is a little shame since a big focus, at least in trying to sell it, is obviously, oh look, when you come back from the fight, you can see your mechs in their broken down state and they'll be repaired over time, etc., etc. It's just if the whole, they also have the more holistic UI. It was just if all you had much more immersive and holistic, dropship part of the game, it would be great. But obviously, first things first, the most important part is the shooty mech action.
Mm-hmm. No, wouldn't that be cool though if you actually can watch your video of your last mission, and from each pilot's perspective on your vid screen in the lounge or something like that, like from a 3D perspective, or like just like how Battlestar Galactica does it, where they have a roaming camera and they basically and they it looks like a movie type thing. I think that'd be kind of cool.
I'm just imagining you have one mission where the AI, one of them gets stuck behind a tree or something stupid, and you go back and you review their footage and just go, right, let's see how you performed last mission. And,
you're fired.
And then they're just twitching up against the corner, and it's just like, my pathfinding's not working, and you just look at your pilot and it's just out of disdain. It's like, and this is why we had such a tough mission last time.
That's why we can't have nice things.
That's why we have a wreck of an Atlas over there.
Oh my god. Oh my god, that'd be funny. Oh man. Oh, okay, so yeah. The AMA was actually pretty good. Everyone's very, cordial. It was nice, actually. It was good. So he did answer a lot of things. My main concern, a lot of things is streaming, obviously content and all that kind of stuff. I don't think I ever gonna get an answer about the NDA, but we'll see. Oh, and if someone wants to know if they take a Lancer Urbies, can they beat the game? And he says no way in hell, basically. Although he wouldn't be surprised to see someone do it. So. If you have a Lancer Urbies, 4 Urbies, and play the game in story mode the whole time, if you beat the game, he was joking saying you get a free tour of PGA Labs or something like that. Basically of the.
So that's one thing I was a little curious about, because obviously they're saying beat the game, but it's like all we've heard thus far is that it's just a big sandbox,
Yeah.
and I haven't heard much of anything about like any main story or anything like that. So yeah, how do you quote unquote beat the game with a Lance of Herbies? Does beat the game with the Lance of Herbies mean not go bankrupt by the end?
Probably. Who knows? Like I'm thinking he's referring to the story mode, not the open
Yeah.
sandbox, because I think you could probably get the story mode done in about 10 years or so, just depending.
Yeah, who knows? Because I have not heard anything about the story.
Yeah, I know. I haven't heard anything about the story or the game or how anything else works out. Who knows, man? Who knows? Who knows what's going to be happening like on this?
Hmm.
Okay, so that was the AMA. Do you have anything else about it later?
No, that's more or less it. I sort of course, small, medium, large weapons, all this, that, and the other. I want to sort of see it in action and how it actually plays out before I can really judge
Yeah.
it. Otherwise, it's just like, okay, you're adding, more distinctions to your weapon groups. This will help mechs feel more distinctive to a degree, at least since you have to play into their starting loadout more so than Mechwarrior Online.
Well, yeah.
But it really does become awkward sometimes, though, if you really like SRMs and, oh, this thing only has 2 large launchers, so that means only SRM 12.
Yeah, true. Then also too, you're looking at different variants. So there's a crap ton of variants that they're going to have in there, and he was saying, like I talked about, I think there's 800 mechs, 800 plus inside MechWarrior, online.
Yeah.
So 800 different variants of different mechs are out there. So you're gonna have a lot of different options to go do what you want to do. But I still want to pull out my wing.
Yeah, it also, I mean, talking about so many variants, it gets into the issue of salvage, which I think they did touch on a bit.
Yeah.
Which is you can make choices and what things what salvage you can take from the field, and there's always a chance that things break or are intact, after the battle. So you don't have to necessarily try and headshot or leg every single mech you come across. But yeah, if there's 800 variants or so, it's just sort of a question of, I keep fighting Vindicators, but they're all different variants. And I have thousands of bits of Vindicators, but I can't, my mech techs just can't put them together because this Vindicator has, a ballistic in its arm instead of energy. And they're just like, well, I can't use the chassis of this one with the arm of the other. It's just impossible.
It's made by the same manufacturer, and you just know. Yeah, oh God, who knows?
Yeah, it's just a slight refit. It's now incompatible, and it's just an absolute nightmare to get enough salvage to patch together a mech. But yeah, as I say, though, they are still fiddling with the salvage tables, and who knows how it'll actually play out when you get the game
Yeah, true.
on release.
Okay, so next we have the back to school sale. Yummy. Back to school sale. Mechs for in-game for 50% off MC price. Faction patterns and faction flags. Show your school spirit. I don't realize there was a Steiner school, but okay. Like when I went to high school. But 30% off mech pack sales. Find your mechs. A lot of different sales that are out there. When's this in? Oh, on the 5th, so it's already over.
Okay, sorry. So so there was mech pack sale. This is buying it from the store, isn't it? Just 30% off there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these are all mostly, of course, there's no new mech packs coming out. There's all the stuff that's already available in the game, and a lot of it is already available for C builds. The most interesting was, of course, just hero mechs, the Solaris 7 heroes, and this, that, and the other. Because I don't really, it's not that great value for money if you're
No.
buying C build variants for cash.
Well, like generally though, like I mean, it's you can buy it for C-bills. The only thing you're really paying for is actually the premium time, which is 30 days. Okay, and so that's at what, like $11.99, $12. Is that right?
There's a whole bunch of things in there. There are cockpit items. There's
Oh, okay,
titles
yeah,
and badges, I guess. Premium
yeah.
time, yeah.
You know, premium time is what the major thing is. What you're purchasing, the cockpit items they give away for free. Like, anyways, when they actually were coming out with mech packs, it was actually a good deal to have them because they weren't going to be coming out for C-bills for I think like 4 months, about 3 to 4 months.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
was a good idea to buy them when they did come out because you literally for $8 you get all these mechs to go play with and have a fun time with. Plus you get premium time for pretty much almost for free. So, well, not for free, but you're still paying for it. But you're paying $8 for like like 3 mechs. Yeah, like 3 mechs, I believe. So it was
Mhm.
it was a good deal at the time. Plus, also too, if you purchase them before it came out, and then you get C-bills and patterns and cockpit items, a whole slew of stuff. Now, though, unfortunately, though, since they're not actually doing packs or anything else, it's really just advantageous to just go ahead and purchase them in the C-bill store, and then when they have sales for the hero mechs, just purchase them with MC that they give away like candy. So it's I mean, overall, right now, it's really not good to actually purchase mechs. As I know it's bad for me to say this, but it's really not advantageous for you to purchase packs now. Period.
It's at least not as great a deal. I haven't really ever gone
Yeah.
and bought packs that are out already. I've always ordered pre-orders.
Yeah.
With the mech packs, particularly since they get the bonus pre-order little bits and pieces like a mech pattern.
Yeah.
That helps sweeten the deal. As it was though, it's 30% off, and if you really wanted to go back and purchase one of these packs, they were cheaper. But it's just a very, very select market that we're trying to get here.
Yeah. Very, very select.
Otherwise, the 50% off flags, meh. I don't really care about the flags, but so there are some lore freakazoids out there. But the bigger thing I think was 50% off the faction patterns. Faction patterns are the most
Yes.
expensive in game, and a lot of people like having the colors of their own preferred factions. So yeah. The biggest thing for me was just that I don't get the whole school spirit thing, but 50% off faction patterns.
Well,
That's okay.
school is coming back. Everyone's going back to school. That's why they had that.
Yeah, but are schools particularly factitious,
No.
where you have warring factions within the more different schools fighting each other, and suddenly this become an anime? Did I miss out on real life school anime?
Yeah. One of the other things, though, like if you do purchase the packs, like say Resistance 2 and Resistance ones, it does come with faction patterns already. So that might be an idea to purchase those instead of actually just to get the faction patterns for a lot cheaper. So it's just an idea. But the rest of them, like say by the Fafnir, the Flea, the Vulcan, or the Thanatos and stuff like that, it's cheaper just to purchase them with C-bills. Just a little bit of grinding. Purchase some C-bills, and then later on purchase the heroes with MC that they give out for candy. At least in my own opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just
All right. Shall we move on to the event?
Yay! Okay, so get schooled event and sales. The sales and everything else, you do get double XP starting September 6th and ending on the 13th. So it is still viable when this does come out, which is the first time ever. I can't believe that. So different challenges, the mechs on sale, dropship deals. The dropship deals are actually really good, and I think those, depending what they are, let's go check out what they are here. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Never mind. Champion mechs are okay, I guess.
So for the dropship deals, it's underlined higher education sale.
Okay, there we go. Got it.
So I kind of like the naming: high school diploma, bachelor's degree, master's degree.
Yeah, I know. For $30, you get 5 light mechs. That's okay, I guess. Oh, that's high school diploma, bachelor. I get it now. Okay, that's interesting. For $35, you get How many mechs for 35? Choose
So it's
5. Yeah.
it's always 5 mechs, starting at $30 and going up in $5 increments for each weight class, basically.
Yeah.
And it's I think most, if not all, the heroes that are in the game
Yes. Yeah.
are
Yeah.
available.
It's actually not that bad of a deal because if you purchase them with MC individually, it's hell of expensive. Hell of expensive to go do that. And so with this, at least you're getting the mechs you want to go purchase, like say the Pretty Baby or the Partisan Black Knight. You purchase those 5 mechs you want to go and have for hero mechs, and you have the hero mechs. If you purchase them individually, it's real expensive, real expensive.
These dropship deals are always quite a good value for money, at least compared to your usual rates you have to pay. Usually the dropship deals though ask you to only buy 4 mechs. Buying 5, of course, they can ratchet up the price, but it also makes it a little bit more awkward because sometimes you just want 2 or 3
Yeah,
of the mechs. And some things like lights, there's only so many light heroes that you can get, and they're the cheapest for MC as well.
maybe
So
actually like what they can do is like choose a mech for $9. Basically for the assaults. Each mech is 9 up to 5 mechs you go purchase. That might be an
yeah.
idea.
It's just I find it interesting that we haven't had a dropship deal in a while because I wonder how well they sell. And
Oh, we'll never know that.
yeah, we'll never really know that, but it's just the fact that they stopped doing dropship deals sort of implied perhaps that it wasn't really working out, it wasn't worth their time. But
Well,
yeah, it's back.
it doesn't really. I guess a tech to do the website, basically to do the interface, UA like interface like for this, probably about maybe a couple hours, because they already have it built in like already. So I don't know. It's profitable because the mechs are already made, mechs are alalready done, and so they can make some more money
Yeah,
off the mechs that
yeah.
are there.
It's just there's a lot of things that could go into it. For example, how much people, these are these dropship deals are always sort of hidden away in on their website. They don't really make it clear
Yeah, yeah,
that they're there really, and it's a question of if someone's really engaged in the game and they were going to pick up that they are the type who are picking up a dropship deal, how much would they have spent on the game otherwise, or how much do they spend because of the deal, and or just even how many people are picking up these deals? Like it doesn't take too much to put it up, but it's also if only 2 people buy a dropship deals, then it's not really worth your time. You have
well,
not really made much back on it.
yeah. Basically, time for the engineer to go ahead and make the website, put the pictures up, and get all the stuff done for it. I guess, yeah. If it's only 2 people buying, but I don't think only 2 people buy this kind of stuff. Maybe what's the it was like 500 peak or 700 peak people playing.
Yeah. It's on average
Yeah,
the numbers have been going down, so it's about 500-ish
but that's
now.
only on Steam charts though.
Yeah, on Steam.
But like I think that if they could pop it up, it's an extra sale they could pop in there. It's really it's cost effective because the mech's already there. They make a little bit more money. Cost the engineer probably
We are
yeah,
at least fans of the dropship deals.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
a great way to access heroes without having to get through MC or through mech packs.
Exactly. It's a better deal than doing what we just talked about. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
And
kind of cool.
well, for the most part, I would say the category. I mean, I'm a big fan of mediums, but obviously, I think heavies. There's just so many heavy heroes.
Yeah.
Funny enough, at least there's some assaults are chucked in there as well, like the Skokomish, which you're getting for the cheaper rate.
Oh yeah. Yeah. True. It's a better deal.
Heavy,
I like it.
yeah.
It's cool.
The misery is there as well. 85 tons. What are you doing there?
Okay. What else? There was the Champion Mechs for sale for 50% off. I generally don't purchase Champion Mechs myself. Just it's not really
Yeah.
worth it per se. I think I only got a couple champions because they gave them out for free.
Yep.
But generally though, like if I'm gonna spend MC, it's gonna be for the hero mechs and that's it. new GSP bundles, which we'll get into in just a second. But you can also convert your XP times 3.
Yeah.
I only use this to actually get one of the war horns, and that's it. I don't think it's really worth it per se, but that's just me.
So it used to be, your regular rate is you turn 25 of your specific mech XP into general experience points for M1 MC.
Yeah.
So let's just say 250 XP for 10 MC. Now, though, if you spend those 10 MC, you're getting 750 XP turned into GXP. So, yay.
Yeah.
Because the point was we're almost up to a skill point because it's 800 per skill point.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
So it's 11, 12, MC, 12 MC or so to get a skill point, which is a lot better rate than it used to be. You had to spend like 36 MC, and it's much better than even the double XP conversion rates where it was 24. But even at 12, I'm still like
Yeah,
How much? It's like to fully skill a mech, 91 skill points. You're 91 times 12. You're still spending hundreds of 150 or so MC, let's say, to fully skill a mech. That's not actually too bad, but I'm saving my MC for heroes and I guess maybe champions.
And faction patterns and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, faction patterns, warhorns, and heroes and faction and patterns in particular. That's why I say MCs for, not XP conversion.
And they also have the GSP bundles you can purchase for 200 GSP for $10, which is not too bad, to tell you the truth, because it takes 91 skill points to do one mech. So you're talking 2 mechs you can go and scale out for $10. That's not too bad. It's not the worst in the world. It's not the best in the world. But hey, it's 200 GSP used for anything you want to go do for.
But the thing is, as well, you don't have to actually sit down and grind XP with a mech. That's the sort of thing nuisance with XP conversion. Is you still have to spend a lot of time actually playing the game to actually get those GXPs and then this, that, and the other. And then you also have to grind, of course, C bills.
Mm-hmm.
So XP conversion requires you to grind, mech specific XP and grind C bills so that you can then turn them eventually into skill points on other mechs, which is lots of little steps and really, you're spending MC premium currency to just to turn your grind into skill points when you could have just grinded skill points on the mech you wanted.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
and you earn GXP anyway, as it does turn into GXP anyway, so why convert it? Whereas if you don't have so much time to grind, and you just want to spend a little bit of money, I think paying money and getting straight out GXP general skill points is way better because you don't need symbols, you don't need to convert it. It's just skill up your mechs and get to play with them. So in a way, if you have very little time but you want your shooting mech action, you buy the mech packs. Like you buy a dropship deal and then you buy general skill points, and you just have fully skilled mechs that you can immediately jump into the battlefield with.
True.
That's at least as a maybe now we can complain about pay to win on top of heroes, but for the most part, at least, it's a much more convenient.
Oh yeah, by far. But one of the pet peeves that we have is you get double XP, but you're spending all that money just to upgrade your mech and skill points, which costs an arm and a leg to go and do. So really, you're losing money during the whole process. But they actually fixed that in the challenges. We'll get the challenges in just a second.
Well, last thing first,
Okay.
the GSP bundle also came out with the updated mech list. Yep, just a thing to mention before, the mechs were all just sort of a scroll list. You just go left to your first 10 or 12 mechs. And despite how many mechs you had, it really did not do very much to help. If you're on the website looking at what mechs you own right now, it had that feature, quote unquote, but it was terrible.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
yeah, now they have a mech listing. It's not as good as in game, I think, but it's a huge step up because now you can select standard mechs, champion mechs, heroes, owned, unowned mechs, Innisphere, clan, by weight class, and it shows you which ones you owned, how many skill points you have on them, etc., etc. It's a huge step up. It's still, I don't see really much point in this thing. I just log into the game, but at least they are doing some quality of life improvements for the website.
Yeah, exactly. I can't show you it because it shows my email address. But hey, still, it's actually pretty cool. They did a good thing about this. Just like you said, it's a quality of life improvement. It's something that at least you're doing something. That's how you got to look at it. At least you're doing something that's out there. You can find what mechs you have. If case you're say at work, you want to check out on your phone, see what mechs you have. You go, tonight I'm gonna play my Phoenix Hawk. Tonight I'm gonna play my Storm Crow. That kind of thing. You do that kind of stuff, and that's pretty much what it does.
It's just annoying sometimes. What I would like most is sometimes people asking me for my builds or whatever, and I just have to log into the game, go all the way into the find the right mech, find the mech lab,
Yeah.
and then find here you are. Here's the image of the build, but that's still not available to me. But I can at least, if I want to claim online that hey, someone doesn't believe me, I can show the list.
True. It's just something that's out there, and that's not too bad. I don't mind it at all.
I'm just surprised they did something to improve Mechwarrior Online. It's just I thought the game has been kind of left to its own devices, and then suddenly they do this kind of improvement. It's like, wait, you had somebody working on Mechwarrior Online?
Well, there's a skeleton crew probably. There's like 3 people. You're basically saying,
Yeah.
okay, you guys do something cool. You guys do a quality of life improvement.
Someone said, I'm going to improve the list. And it's like, okay.
Exactly.
That doesn't really change anything, but well done.
It's still cool. Thank you for doing that. It's just something that quality of life improvement. That was good. That was good. Yay, the event. Now, what we're talking about, we always have a problem with when they do double XP, you're running out of money completely. It sucks completely. And now what they're doing is the first day of school is killing me. You earn 1 victory, earn 1 dead, and then you get 3 days premium time. So I
don't ever remember earning 1 dead as a challenge.
I don't know what earn 1 dead means, but
I think it means die 1 time. The text descriptions of this are a little more fanciful. Like recess tag turns violent is 10 hit and run rewards, but it says earn 1 tag damage reward, and in brackets it says sorry.
One thing that actually would help this, to tell you the truth, I was thinking about this the other day, is if they actually have like a glossary term, like on the bottom, so saying what earn 1 dead means, or what earn 1 UAV shot down, or something like that. Just in general, like what a hit and run is. Because that would actually help out people that want to do this, that are not like experts like we are. Yes, we're an expert, I guess. I don't know. But
I mean, there's some funny things like there was that April Fool's event with the bird stuff, and it was like collect 5 feathers, and everyone had to try to figure out what it was. That was kind of fun, and there's something like this as well. Like there's one called "Forgot to Study for the Final Exam," where one of the criteria is that bonus question that wasn't in the curriculum. 0 out of 1.
What? Hold on.
Right now.
Where's that?
Forgot to study for the final exam.
What the hell does that mean?
It's an objective.
The bonus question that wasn't in the curriculum. What the hell, dude?
So, yeah, I haven't actually done much of this event to figure out, or looked around to see what this one is. But yeah, it's going to be something like get 1 kill assist, get 1 KMDD, or 500 match score in a match, or something like that. Who knows?
That is bizarre. That is just too bizarre.
So most of it is transparent, but sometimes the wording they use can be a bit ambiguous. Like earn 1 death. It's like, is that get a kill, or does that get killed? And I think in this case it's get killed. But this particular one, the bonus question that wasn't in the curriculum, who knows what that is?
And earn 1 tag damage reward. Sorry, what the hell does that mean either? Basically, like I said, a
it's
glossary
just 1
terms.
tag damage, but Well, he's saying sorry. It's just as an apology. It's just like,
Oh,
just get
oh,
one.
you got to put tag on your freaking mech and God.
Yeah.
See, basically, for a new person looking at this, they're like, what does that mean? I have no clue what a KMDD or hit and one like rewards mean. If they have a glossary terms on the bottom of the events, that actually would help out new players that
But
are
if there
playing
was
this
a
game.
good wiki for the game,
Yeah.
or more expanded glossary somewhere, anywhere, other than just asking, more experienced players what this
Yeah.
all means, it would be good. But as it stands, at least, I can't blame the guy making the
Oh, no,
events
no.
for using the terminology that most of us are quite used to. Most of us know what a KMDD is and means, though you still get people confused about things like solo kills.
Yeah, I know, but just be nice if they had that for new players. Just be good. A
Yeah.
quality life
Yeah.
improvement for Mechwarrior Online.
Still, I overall though, the first things you earn, the easier ones, kind of at the premium time, which is good.
Yeah.
And more C bills, more XP and whatnot. It's good to get those out the way. There is C bills being offered in this one. There's some good, there's Warhorns being offered. It's a nice enough selection of stuff. There's even some MC at the bottom if you accumulate 20,000 match score.
I might actually play tonight, just like on my alt account, just to have some fun with this, because this actually looks pretty cool. To tell you the truth, it actually looks pretty neat, and I might actually play tonight. Because I want to see what that bonus question is. That wasn't in the curriculum. I want to know what that is. I have no clue what that is yet.
Yeah. So as we said, there's a skeleton crew. One people working on it. One person made the list, and the other one had fun making names.
Yeah, that was
for
Matt.
the,
Yeah, that was Matt Newman.
Somehow you graduated is the final challenge for that 20,000 match score. They're having fun in what little ways they can.
Hey, whatever makes you happy, man. Just keep the game going. That's all. Just do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's fun. We enjoy it, and we love talking about it too, man. So it's all good.
So yeah, I think that's more or less it. It's all our regular events and sales of this, that, and the other. AMA was nice, but of course we always want more. And let us know about the SoundCloud and what kind of websites we want to put the podcast up on as well.
Exactly. Thank you for watching, and thank you for listening to the First Circuit Podcast number 98,000. We appreciate everything you guys do, and thank you very much. See you on the battlefield.
Blar.